So the body will tell us immediately when something is wrong, but we miss it so often because we're thinking. So if you think about, or if you recall maybe a time when you felt anger, or when anger was with you, and this burning sensation that comes with anger, the heat that rises in the body, the tightness in the belly, the tightness in the shoulders, and the body tells us that something is not okay. But very often we ignore what the body's telling us, and then we go straight to the mind, and we go straight to thinking about it, and we go straight to reacting. But if we allow ourselves to feel what's happening and the sensations in the body, then we can allow that energy to pass. We can allow that energy in motion to keep itself in motion. So we are looking at the power of pause and how small mindful moments can create big shifts. And just reminding ourselves that this is a practice, and however many years that you practice mindfulness, it is always a practice. It's not a pill. It's not like Amy's big microphone. It's not one of those things that you just take on and you're going to fix something really, really quickly. It's something that we take on for life. So, okay. So I'd like to ask you to just think for a few moments, and perhaps unmute yourself or pop into the chat box what you think mindfulness is. So what is mindfulness to you? I don't know if I can see the chat box when I'm sharing screen. Is it? Yeah, I can. Okay, great.
I
Hello.
could
Hi.
get out for you.
Can I say something?
Yes, I'm
Yeah, go
just
ahead.
For me,
uh,
the mindfulness, it means you always keep the positive mind. If you find you have negative mind, then you need to do something, change it, and you will always keep aware it, and just focus on now, and positive, and do some right thing to be nice person, and love yourself, love people around you, and you have good environment around you. You need to create by yourself. If,
yeah.
for example, if you maybe your colleague don't want to smile to you, but you can smile to them. You need to keep some create, and not just wait let other people create something for you. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sunny. You have some really interesting points there. And I think that one of the things that I picked up that you said is being aware of the now. Yeah, being aware of what's happening now in this moment, and also making sure that you're in control, that you're in charge. You can choose what happens in the next moment. Yeah, you can choose how you work with others and how you respond to others. And as you said, if someone is not smiling at you, you have a choice that you can continue to smile. You can continue to try to be the best person that you can be. I like that. There was something that you said about being aware of negative and positive thoughts, and this is really interesting. That in mindfulness, that we bring awareness to all of our thoughts, but we try not to judge whether those thoughts are negative or positive. And one of the reasons for that is because once you start judging that something is negative, the mind goes into a second layer, and it starts trying to fight the negative and push the negative, what we call negative, away. And then that causes an internal fight then, or it tries to, it kind of like pushes things away out of ignorance. And things sometimes maybe are not pleasant, or maybe things are a little difficult. So what we can do is to try and understand that these thoughts are here. I'm not going to judge what these thoughts are at this moment, because that judgment will cause an automatic battle in my mind. But what I can do is try to just recognize that these thoughts are here and make a choice of how I'm going to respond to these thoughts in the next moment. Thank you so much, Sunny. Thank you. And I can see lots of people have sent messages in the chat. So Jenny, being present in the present. Yeah. So being here fully. And Amy Alice, mindfulness is being aware of what's happening inside my mind. Yeah. And yeah. And all around us, being aware of what's in my mind, being aware of what's in my body, being aware of what's everywhere. And being aware of autopilot or automatic mental programs, attention to differences. Yeah, absolutely. When we become more friendly and more aware of what's happening in the mind, we start to notice the automatic patterns that are there. And we then, as you said, Sunny, we can become, there's that thought again. Hello, that thought doesn't maybe serve me so well. I'm going to choose to maybe bring a different thought in, or choose to see why that thought is here, what that thought is doing visiting me today. And there's different ways that we look at that in mindfulness. At the beginning, we probably just would choose to direct ourselves in a different way. But eventually what we want to do is try to not understand it, but look at it and be friends with these thoughts, whatever these thoughts are, because the friendlier we are with them, the more peaceful that we are sitting with these thoughts, they seem to just melt away. Okay. And Jay says, I think it's about always questioning why one is doing something or what value it is. That's really interesting, Jay. And this is something I think that we'll look at a little bit later on today, because the mind is always questioning. What we want to do in mindfulness is be aware that we're questioning, because it's automatically questioning, but sometimes we're not aware that it's automatically questioning. So if we're aware that the mind is questioning, then that can be quite helpful. But when it goes into automatic pilot of questioning, it can take us into a myriad of rabbit holes, which can sometimes be a little dangerous. So just recognizing that as well, and be in the now. It's a level of consciousness. Yeah. Thank you, Karina. Wonderful. So John Kabat-Zinn, who was the founder of the mindfulness-based stress reduction program, and he is thought of as being the grandfather of the Western style of mindfulness, says that mindfulness is paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, and non-judgmentally. So we have quite a few key words in there. So paying attention. We're intentionally paying attention, and that's the particular way. So we're choosing to pay attention, and it's on purpose. Of that again is intentional. It's in the present moment. So when we explore and when we do some practices later, hopefully you'll be able to see that very often the mind time travels. It's a very interesting creature. It likes to space hop, it likes to time travel, and it likes to take us out of what is here and right now, and non-judgmentally. So this is what I was talking with Sunny about just a moment ago. The judgment, it can be really hard, because in our education systems, we're taught that we should be comparing, contrasting, that we should be judging. In our societies, we're always judging. And so coming out of that judgment is really, really difficult. And at the very beginning, it might just be that we say, there's that judgment coming again. Hi, judgment. And be friendly with it. Recognize that it's there. And at first, probably the mind will, no, you shouldn't be judgmental. And it will try to kick the judgment out of the mind. But recognize that that, again, is its own level of judgment. And seeing the very complicated layers of the mind, and within all of that, we sit. We're the ones that are observing it all. Yeah. So another definition of mindfulness comes from Willem Kuyken and Christina Feldman, who are the co-founders, or they're actually running the Oxford Mindfulness Foundation, where my training is from. And they talk about the function of mindfulness being a way to help us shift from automatic reactivity. So that automatic pilot that Adrian was talking about earlier on, and reactivity. This is a really interesting word, because we're taught that we should react, that we should be able to react to problems. However, when we're reacting, we're very often using the part of the brain called the amygdala, and we're in a fight, flight, or freeze mode, a kind of survival mode. So instead of reaction in mindfulness, we are learning to respond. It's a subtle difference. So we're responding skillfully rather than reacting. Yeah. And avoiding excuse me, sorry, let me just move that. So automatic reactivity to responsiveness. So we're moving from reactivity to responsiveness, and we're moving from avoidance patterns. So one thing that I've seen a lot is that a lot of people, or a lot of popular media, talk about meditation as a way of escaping. And it's a way of escaping what maybe is difficult in our life, and escaping, taking us into these beautiful places in our mind, and perhaps visualization in a way that maybe is avoiding. We use visualization in mindfulness. It is, of course, an important part of the program. But one thing that we must always remember is that we're not trying to avoid the things that are here in front of us. Avoidance causes a continuation of suffering. So if we're avoiding something, it's always chasing us. It's always there trying to catch up with us. But when we turn towards and face maybe our fears or those problems that are here, then, and we treat them with compassion and kindness, then we're able to really live our fullest lives. And this helps us as well, because another thing that we're always chasing is happiness, that we're trying to be happy all of the time, and recognizing that being happy all of the time, we probably should be in a mental institution, that no one is happy all of the time. No one should be happy when someone is suffering, yeah? When nobody should be happy when there's a death or when there's a war that's around. But we can try to, instead of chase happiness, that we can try to invite peace and peacefulness into our lives, and recognize that sadness and pain are part of this human existence. But very often our avoidance of sadness or pain or the discomforts that are here in life actually cause us even more suffering, because it's like a double-edged sword, that we feel the pain that is there, the first bout of pain, perhaps even with even physical pain, and then we get into thinking about it. We try to dissect it, we try to understand it, and we exacerbate that pain so much. So instead of thinking and dissecting, what we do in mindfulness is turn towards and embrace and be with it and allow it to be, and know that the mind will take us into, why was that me? Why did that happen to me? I should have done something different. Oh, I'm so stupid. Recognizing these thought patterns that come in and say, yeah, there's that critic again. There's that judgmental voice. Hello, welcome. Let's sit together. And we sit with all of those difficulties. Okay. And I can see that Karina's also said that Eckhart Tolle says we need to catch the thinker. Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah, that thinker that is always there. And because of Western science, because of Western education systems, and that have kind of infiltrated the whole world, we've lost contact with with the rest of the brain. We are just activating very much in education that prefrontal cortex, that thinking. We're just activating that part of the brain that we have to understand, that we have to dissect, that we have to analyze everything, that we have to problem solve everything. And we actually forget that deep below, there's a whole part of the brain that is much more ancient than that upper cortex that is really important. That's the feeling part. That's the sensing parts that we can just drop into and allow ourselves not to try to understand everything. Okay, so I'm going to just stop sharing for a moment and see if so far if there are any questions that anybody has. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah, Sunny. Yeah.
I always, keep, mindfulness and, to be healthy, eat healthy and do healthy thing. But sometimes, I can't control, because I work in company, sometimes, maybe you always kindness to your colleague, but it's not means they will be do the same thing to you. I try tell myself, don't care the other people's sentence and other people's behavior. But I need to agree, sometimes they do some little thing not nice to me, actually is totally affect me. I feel not good. Then the little thing will always affect me. Maybe every day will affect me some the little things. So I don't know how to how to face this kind of thing and to change my mind.
Isn't it
Yeah.
wonderful? Isn't it wonderful how you've noticed that, Sunny? And something that I picked up on right at the end there, where you said, how can I change my mind? And we often go into any kind of practice with the ultimate goal of changing or fixing something. And something about mindfulness is that we don't go in with that goal. We go in with that goal of just allowing whatever is here to be here. And very often that can be the fix. Because we are so driven, we're striving to fix something or change something or make something better, that we forget that we can feel this, that we can allow this to just be there and accept it, breathe with it, and allow tears to flow, and allow that feeling of shuddering be in with your body, and that feeling of your skin crawling, of all of those tingles that run throughout your body. Just allow it to be there. Emotion, as we probably know, so many of you here will know that emotion can be looked at as energy in motion. And when you are hurt by another person, then there's emotion comes into the body, and this energy is running through the body. And quite often we're like, oh, I shouldn't be feeling that. I should be happy. I should be healthy. I should be. And then we stop ourselves, that we stop that emotion from flowing in the body. We stop that energy from flowing in the body. So just turning towards it, looking at it. Wow, I'm really pissed off. I'm sorry for my language. That really hurt me. Wow, I'm feeling pain. And seeing this, feeling this, and allowing this pain to run through the body and leave. Energy in motion. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that question.
Stating that, Paula. Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, about 2 years ago, I was burnt out. I was totally burned out because I'm so diverse in what I do. And then I enrolled in Paula's program, and I had to learn to sit in the state. It was so awkward at first. I didn't know what to do because I'm a thinker. I'm always up here reasoning and doing stuff. And I had to just sit. And she had us sit for like hours just sitting. I was saying, what am I doing here? Is this for me? But I found that after a while I became comfortable with sitting with my thoughts and with myself and tapping into the power of now, recognizing what I was sensing and feeling. And I learned to exhale. I learned to just be present. And from there, I've been practicing consistently. And it's a life-changing experience when you can just sit in your space with yourself, for yourself, and be with yourself. And I've come to appreciate the power of silence and just being. And I thank you for that. And it requires an intentionality to say, I need this at this point in my life. I need this space to be with myself and not be judgmental and not be in my head and all of that, and just breathe and absorb where you are at this present moment. And then you are able to cope with what's out there and balance all of that and deal with it and live a more enriched life. So now I regularly sit in silence. I just sit and I just breathe. And my entire day is just different when I do that. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, Jenny. And this brings me to the, oh, sorry. I can see Karina, you have a question. Apologies.
Yes, hi. Can you hear me? You
Very
can
well.
hear me? Okay, perfect. Thank you. I'm learning so much and I love what the topic today. I remember listening to the previous person the very first time I was introduced to mindfulness. And just like she described, I was so in my head and I had so many things going on inside of me. Not a, yes, around, but inside of me. And it was a small class. I'm a stroke survivor. There's only so many things that I can do in however long. It can be too long. I will never be able to do a 2 hour long meditation such as yourself. So I took a 45-minute. It was a yin or yang class of yoga, and that was part. So I said, oh, it feels good. It's gonna be good. Just sit quiet. I cried the whole time.
Yeah.
I cried, and you're right. I had no choice to sit there with how I was. You're in a room with 10 other people, and you're like, what am I gonna think about? But that's just it. Don't think. You feel.
Yeah.
That's how I got introduced.
Yeah. I love what you said, Karina, and I have goosebumps. I'm covered in goosebumps because
Oh,
you feel. Yeah. We've forgotten how to feel. And
yes.
we allow ourselves to feel whatever it is and move out of this thinking about it and questioning it and trying to understand it and just feel
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to share screen again. Oops. Where am I? Okay. Sorry, I'm still a little sick after a virus, but I'm having a little bit of a cough still, so apologies for that. All right. So I'd like to ask the question now. What special skills do you have? Do you exercise? Do you run? Do you paint? Do you dance? I know Jenny writes. I know that some other people, maybe they do other things. So what special skills do you have? And maybe take a moment to think about when you first started out doing this special skill. And what do you remember about those early days? And what challenges did you have? And how did you overcome those challenges? Maybe just taking a few moments to write down what special skill it is or activity that you do. It doesn't have to be a skill of any sort. It could be an activity. And thinking back to when you first started out. And what do you remember about those early days? What challenges did you have? And how did you overcome those challenges?
Can I share something?
Yes, Sunny, go ahead.
For me, I think that I overcome the big change for me. The sports is study swimming, because in China not too many swimming,
Yeah.
because in China not too many girls can swim in China, and actually I study swimming by myself. Didn't find some professional coach, and so for me, I think I'm so brave to study it with my friends, and how I can overcome it, because I believe because I know swimming is very good for your body and for your body shape, and actually it's really good for girls the healthy. So then I can learn, and so study hard, and at the last I can swim.
Yeah. So you had the background knowledge that swimming is really good for you. It's going to make you healthy, yeah. And it was hard at first because it wasn't something maybe that girls did, maybe in your community, but you continued and you kept going, and you knew that it was good for you, and you knew that this was something that you wanted, so you continued even if it was challenging at first. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. And Amy, that you've started embroidering recently, yeah, and the stitches looked ugly at first, yeah, and that next time you were more careful and you pricked yourself a few times as well, yeah, but nowadays it's a lot better. So nowadays is a lot better because you didn't give up. You kept going, and even if it was ugly, and even if it was painful at first, you carried on, yeah. And Ray says continuous repetition. Yeah. So like flute changed from the clarinet. So early days, wow, totally new. Didn't even remember how I learned the basics to an advanced advanced level. Yeah. So yeah, we forget. How did I even get this far? I can't even remember what it was like when I couldn't even blow. Is that how you say blow a note? I don't know, but play a note maybe it would be better. But yeah, these things that when we've been doing something for a long time, we forget maybe how difficult it was at the beginning. But I want to go back to what Jenny said when she started practicing. Oh my goodness. What? You want me to sit here for 20 minutes? You want me to do what? And just be quiet for 20 minutes? Ah, the pain, my body is hurting. Oh, my back hurts. Oh, my neck hurts. Oh, my goodness. And now all of the thoughts are coming. And I have to go. I've got so much more important things to do. I've got to go and I've got to make the dinner. I've got to write some things. I've got all of these things that I need to do. It's so painful. It's so boring. It's so hard. But when you keep at it and you practice and you continue practicing, it becomes part of a luxurious lifestyle, even to just be with ourselves without that interruption. Yeah, we're able to give ourselves those moments to just be with ourselves, and all of that chatter that's there, we just take time to invite the mind to just settle down again. We notice that it's gone. It's gone to thinking. It's gone to planning tomorrow. It's gone to thinking about yesterday, and we invite it back. And then we notice it's gone again. And then we invite it back. And we keep inviting back, intentionally inviting back to feeling how we're feeling now. And that intentionality, that continuous practice, that tenacity to not give up, to not think, I can't do this. This is not for me. The ugliness, the pricks, the pain that we feel, if we keep going with it, then we start to build new neural pathways. And by building new neural pathways, it starts to become part of who we are. It's no longer something that is so difficult. If you think of a marathon runner, nobody can go and run a marathon if they've never practiced. So nobody's can sit there for 20 minutes, never mind 2 hours, without those intentional moments of practice. Yeah. Femina, sorry. Would you like to say?
For Mina, yes. I'd just like to answer the question. So I love writing, and my biggest dream is one day to publish a book. And I also want to write. I like mangas, and I can't draw, but I do write stories. And for a long time, I would just say, oh, I can't draw, so I will never be able to publish anything. But later on, and I will say to myself, I also cannot go and hire someone to do the job for me. And even if I start learning, it will take a long time for me to learn it. So I kept off like having this negative thinking, but then I started sharing what I write with my friends, Facebook, Instagram, and then they were very supportive. And then they also recommended some websites I can just go, and share, and receive feedback from more people. So I decided to just go and upload my novels, right? So when I first uploaded, every hour, I would go and check, did anyone like it? Did anyone comment on it, right? And when I went to check, and there was no difference, like no likes, no comments, I would feel very down, like really down. But then I was thinking, okay, maybe I would just upload, let it wait for 1 week, and then go back and check. And then every time I did that, and I saw, oh, do they have 2 more likes? Oh, 3 more comments. And that kind of, made me feel really, really proud of myself. And I kept doing that, like uploading more episodes, waiting, going to check the comments and like. So I just need like a little bit of faith and patience.
Yeah, exactly. That
Mm.
I'm doing this work, and I'm doing this for me. And yeah, other people might enjoy it too, but the process of writing, and the process of what writing does for us, helps us to get to know ourselves a little better, helps us to get to know that curious creature of a mind that lives inside our skull or our body or outside in the ether, wherever it is. So all of that, it's all a process, and then helping ourselves to get to know ourselves a little bit better, and in the meantime, maybe sharing this with others and helping others get to know themselves a little bit better. So being more mindful and recognizing that checking every hour was not helpful for you. It was causing you to probably be less creative, and it was starting to have that little judgment in your mind, that little voice in the mind that's telling you, well, nobody likes it, so you might as well just give up anyway. And then, no, well, actually, I'm doing this for a deeper, bigger reason, because this is my dream, and this is what I will do. Yeah. Thank you. And Karina.
I just again, I love this, like what the previous person had mentioned, because it touched home for me when I was that type of person that would always look every hour, okay, what's going on? It becomes like it became to me like compulsiveness. I had to. And in 2021, I created my podcast. And the idea behind it was to make one person. So as I was learning how to do a podcast, everybody was talking about how many downloads and how many listeners and this and that. And it became overwhelming. And I'm like, I'm not that good. I won't be able to do that. So I had to shift my way of thinking and say, you know what? Only one person around the world can benefit from what I have to say, then it's going to be worth it for them and for me. And now I'm top 2 worldwide in my category. I don't know how it happened. It happens one person at a time, maybe, but it can be very overwhelming. Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, changing that mindset. Wow, wonderful. That's such a beautiful share. Thank you, Karina.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And thank you for everything that you do to support others. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to very quickly just share a little bit about the research on mindfulness, and then we'll start practicing because I think it's important that we do some practice, yeah? Okay, so this is a graph of the research that has been conducted, the scientific research that has been conducted on mindfulness style therapy since 1980 until 2020. So it's not the most recent. And as you can see that in 1980, there was nothing. And then there were like maybe 1 or 2 papers. It got up to 9 or 10 papers in the early 2000s and up into 2020, we're every year publishing over 1,000 papers. And these papers are looking at how mindfulness is affecting well-being, how it's affecting the well-being of adults, how it's affecting the well-being of seniors, how it's affecting the well-being of youngsters. And of course, there's in there as well, there's going to be research papers that say that it doesn't work as well as some people report that it does. But the overwhelming evidence shows that it actually has incredible effects. And as something that is completely non-invasive, need medication, doesn't have any side effects, it is a very, very powerful practice. So I'll just talk a little bit about yeah, they're starting to see the cost of mindlessness. Yeah, that's very true, Adrian. That the health industry, when mindlessness is and mindful, double L ness is also costing the whole society a massive amount of money and also quality of life. So some of the things that mindfulness has that we've looked at that mindfulness can help with on the physical side, mindfulness can help to balance blood pressure. It can help to regulate the heartbeat. And on the mental, there's other things on the physical side as well, but I'm just going to be very quick talking about these things. On the mental health side, mindfulness has been shown, mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, which is what I do courses in, has been shown to be more helpful than medication for people who are suffering from depression. It can help with anxiety, and it can help also with other more serious psychopathologies like schizophrenia and psychosis. I don't work with this. This is a much more I guess nuanced practice though. As well, it has been shown more recently to increase hippocampal volume, so that supports memory, and it helps to combat against neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's or dementia. And so what we're seeing is people who practice mindfulness regularly, if we take a look at in an fMRI machine, take a look at the hippocampus, there are a lot more new cells being created. So this is helping to combat against these neurodegenerative diseases. We're also seeing that people who practice mindfulness regularly have longer and healthier telomeres, which are the structures at the end of chromosomes, and these play a vital role in cell longevity and healthy aging. So when we know all of this, and we know how simple this practice is and how non-invasive and how there's very few side effects to this practice, then it seems really easy for us to make the decision that, yeah, let's do this, let's practice. So I'd like to invite us all now to do a few moments of practice. I'm going to cut this a little shorter than I had originally planned. I was planning on doing a 20-minute practice with everyone, but I'm loving all of the sharing, and I think that it's important that we do this sharing. So I'll shorten the practice to 10 minutes. So if you can just allow yourselves to come into a comfortable position, maybe rolling your shoulders back and keeping your feet flat on the floor. Maybe bringing your hands to your legs. And starting off by really feeling the weight of the body as it presses down against the seat. Really noticing all of the details of contact here. Noticing the contact that your feet make with the floor. Maybe noticing the details of which part of the foot connects with the floor and which part gently curves away. Maybe even noticing the temperature of your feet. Perhaps bringing awareness to your hands as they rest in your lap. Maybe noticing the heat in the palms of your hands. Maybe noticing tingling, perspiration, or any other sensation that may be here. Perhaps even noticing an absence of sensations and knowing that that's perfectly okay too. There's no need to create sensations that don't exist. And if it feels okay for you, perhaps bringing your full awareness to your breath now. Starting to notice where the breath shows up for you in the body. Maybe noticing that gentle rise and fall of your chest. The in and out of the belly. Up and down of the shoulders. Noticing the space that comes with each in-breath. and the release with each out breath. And just taking a moment to check in with the mind and notice where the mind is. And if the mind has wandered, just acknowledge wherever the mind has wandered to. And gently, without forcing, without rushing, invite the mind to sit back with you in awareness of your breath. Noticing all of the details that are here. And each time that you notice that the mind has wandered, space hopped, time traveled to a different dimension, just invite the mind back, time and time and time and time again. It doesn't matter how many times the mind wanders. Intentionally inviting the mind back to this moment and this breath. Perhaps you even notice that the mind is trying to analyze your breathing, judging your breathing, maybe telling you that you're not breathing properly, not deep enough, not slow enough, tries to control your breathing. And just acknowledge this. The mind likes to keep itself busy. And once again, invite the mind to rest. And as best you can, just notice your breathing in its natural state. And whenever you're ready, and without rushing, start to bring your awareness back to this body as a whole. The temperature of your toes, the length of your spine, your clothes as they caress your skin. The sounds in your environment, the scents. And whenever you're ready, if your eyes have been closed, gently floating your eyes open. And taking a moment to just write down one or two words. What did you notice in this practice? Knowing that there's no right or wrong. There's no positive or negative. There just is. Whatever is already is. Relaxed and hungry. Amy, would it be okay if I ask you what relaxed feels like in your body? Maybe Amy's away for a moment, perhaps Sunny. Oh, like a running river. That's interesting. Could you pick a sensation that you felt in the body to use these words, like a running river or relaxed? Is there a particular sensation that you noticed, or perhaps our language isn't complex enough, our language isn't evolved enough sometimes to be able to pick the words to describe our sensations. I'll look at others for a moment. Oh. So Amy's saying that's a visualization of a river flowing, and the sensation is cool. Maybe. Yeah. Thank you. And Sunny says that she felt peaceful. And Sunny, could I ask you to maybe unmute and tell me how peaceful feels in your body?
Peaceful, because before did the meditation, so many ideas entered to my mind. But when we do meditation together, I feel better. I feel some of the negative minds go away. So just focus on now, and at the beginning is always the different mind, to my head. But then later, disappear. Then feel better. I just focus on now. I didn't think about some the sentence. Some people say the negative, and some people say some do the bad behavior. Already just focus on now. Yeah. Make sure now my situation is better. I'm positive.
So Sunny, how does it feel in the body? Could you maybe notice what the body feels like when you focus on?
My body, because before I do I feel my body is tight. Oh, tight. But when I do, I feel my body just become light and comfortable.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So you'll notice that I'm trying to pick up on, what does your body feel like? What are you feeling in your body? Because very often the words that we use are still thoughts. They're still ideas in the mind. So going back, keep coming back. What am I feeling in? What are these sensations that I'm noticing, so that we can reconnect with our body, that we can bring ourselves back into having that our mind and body are very disconnected. So bringing it back into one so that we can be much more aware. Our body is our first port of call whenever there's a problem, whenever we're feeling upset, or whenever we're having any discomfort. Body is the first. Yeah, the body is the first thing. Sunny, can I just mute you for a second, because I know that you're maybe saying something. Thank you. So the body will tell us immediately when something is wrong, but we miss it so often because we're thinking. So if you think about, or if you recall maybe a time when you felt anger, or when anger was with you, and this burning sensation that comes with anger, the heat that rises in the body, the tightness in the belly, the tightness in the shoulders, and the body tells us that something is not okay. But very often we ignore what the body's telling us, and then we go straight to the mind, and we go straight to thinking about it, and we go straight to reacting. But if we allow ourselves to feel what's happening and the sensations in the body, then we can allow that energy to pass. We can allow that energy in motion to keep itself in motion. So always coming back, you'll hear me very often say, so what did you feel in the body? And sometimes it can be like, what does that mean? But just feeling back into the body, noticing what the body feels like when you say it's relaxed, or when you say it's peaceful. Yeah. And Jay, my heartbeat was consistently noticeable as beating away in the background. Isn't it wonderful? Wow, that heartbeat that
Mm.
keeps, yeah, thank you. So you were able to notice that. You were able to notice this beating, this pounding. And Jackie says, rest. Yeah. And Karina, I love what you said. It's heavy but light. I think I understand what you mean with this, because we can feel this heaviness, but it's not a heaviness that feels, it's a heaviness that
Mm.
I'm grounded, I'm stable here, but I'm also light. Yeah. And I love this for Mina. My mind couldn't be quiet and kept singing Space Oddity. Yeah, thinking about the film I went to watch yesterday, and I couldn't focus on one thing. I love that you've shared this, because isn't that wonderful to notice that the mind pops to the strangest of places sometimes, and it sings a song. I remember being in a retreat a couple of years ago, and my mind was constantly singing a song that I hadn't heard for 10 years, and it annoyed me so much. And by day 3, I was like, okay, come on then, song, let's be here and just sing with me. And I was able to laugh at my mind's oddity of just singing this song constantly. And it was some kind of rock metal song as well, so it wasn't it wasn't anything peaceful. So just recognizing where the mind goes, and that it goes to these places, and then there's another layer of the mind that gets annoyed that your mind has gone to this place, so it starts fighting with it. And then that can start the fight, take us out of this peacefulness or out of this being mindful.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so what we are here today is to start to bring mindfulness into everyday moments. So one of the ways that we can do that is by practicing something called 50-50 awareness. So 50-50 awareness is keeping part of your awareness in your body, perhaps on a particular place in your body, like an anchor point. We talk about anchor points a lot in mindfulness, a place in the body or sometimes outside of the body that feels safe, that you can feel a definite sensation. Sometimes it can be the breath, sometimes it can be the feet on the floor, sometimes it can be the bum on the seat, or your hands on your lap, or any other place. It doesn't have to be anything in particular. It's just whatever feels comfortable, safe, and available for you. So keeping 50% of our awareness in the body, and then 50% of our awareness on whatever it is that we're doing. Now, this practice is really helpful when we're in conversations with other people, when we are feeling a little overwhelmed, when we are maybe doing a presentation. So throughout this presentation, my awareness has been on my feet. So I'm still aware of my body. I'm aware that I can be in my body and in this present moment, to take away that constant buzz in the head and down into the body. It can also be very helpful when we find ourselves in procrastination, which is one of the biggest things that so many people find themselves in these days. So when you're working on something and then you suddenly get pulled off to something else and you start thinking about something else. So bringing the awareness back into the body and keeping partial awareness on the body can bring ourselves back into the present moment and remind ourselves of what we need to do in the next moment. So I'm going to share a poem with you now, and after we've read the poem together, I'd like to put us into some groups, and I'd like you to practice 50-50 awareness. So keeping some awareness in the body as you speak and as you listen to your partners in the group. So let me just share my screen again. So Paradox of Noise by Gunilla Norris. It's a paradox that we encounter so much internal noise when we first try to sit in silence. It's a paradox that experiencing pain releases pain. It's a paradox that keeping still can lead us so fully into life and being. Our minds do not like paradoxes. We want things to be clear so we can maintain our illusions of safety. Certainty breeds tremendous smugness. We each possess a deeper level of being, however, which loves paradox. It knows that summer is already growing like a seed in the depth of winter. It knows that the moment we are born, we begin to die. It knows that all of life shimmers in shades of becoming, that shadow and light are always together, the visible mingled with the invisible. When we sit in stillness, we are profoundly active. Keeping silent, we hear the roar of existence. Through our willingness to be the one we are, we become one with everything.
Oh,
So I'd like to invite you to go into some groups now. And Amy, are you able to help to put everyone into a group chat, into a breakout room?
I should be able to. I'm
Wonderful.
not sure. Yes, I can.
And maybe I think that we have how many people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
14.
30.
I believe.
Don't put me in a room. And if everyone can maybe, oh, I'll send it into the group chat. Don't worry.
There's 13 of us. Don't count you. And it's 2-2 or 3-3.
Either is fine. So either 2 in a group or 3 in a group is fine.
Okay.
And just briefly, absolutely lovely. Next week, we'll be doing a workshop and it's called the End Step Reframe. But anyway, I think next week we will use that on mindfulness. We'll use the end step to put in more mindfulness and more practice.
Yeah, wonderful. This looks really interesting. I hope that I'll be able to join this as well. Thank you so much, Adrian.
oh,
Yeah, Paula, a lot of my teachers, even if it's NLP or coaching, a lot of the teachers I work with, like the most, they've got the basis in this mindfulness and sometimes maybe Zen or a different type of Buddhism or way, but
Yeah,
a way to be more mindful in a variety of different languages.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And what we're trying to do is it doesn't matter what school we come from. What we're trying to do is just be more aware, bring more awareness, more compassion, more kindness to everything. Yeah. Thank you.
Amen.
oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Okay. Amy, are we good to go with the groups?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so I will send into the group chats when we're in the breakout rooms, I'll send the poem again. And when you're in the breakout rooms, if you can just notice, if you can bring 50% of your awareness, it doesn't have to be 50%. Don't worry about the percentages. A part of your awareness to your body and a part of your awareness to the person who is speaking and who you're speaking to. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to create them now.
Great. Thank you.
Mm. There we go.
Okay, so is Ezralita not going to join a room?
Maybe not. You want me to jump in there?
Okay, I'll send Jay to the room instead.
Yeah. And you want me to step in with Nadine?
Sure, or Sunny. Or I could send Sunny to Nadine's room.
Okay, Nadine. Yeah, number 4.
Amy,
Yeah.
am I gonna be put into a room?
I
Because
did add you to a
I know you
room.
did. My camera stopped. I had to reboot.
Okay, that's fine. I can add you to any room, actually.
Merci.
You're welcome.
So, Amy, I think that we'll just be in the room for about. Are you okay?
I didn't realize the camera was off.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
Yeah. Yes. So if we're in the room for maybe until 6:20, and then we can come back to the main room, I think. Yeah.
okay,
Great.
can do.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Does your
It just came in.
Hi, Ezrealita.
Escalita.
Hello, Karina.
Hello. I'm good. I'm good.
Nice to see you.
Oh,
Karina,
so how was your day today, Escalita?
I'm actually just got home with my family. It's my niece that anniversary, so we spent some time
Nice.
visiting.
Family's important to you, eh?
Yes,
You always post these beautiful family pictures. You guys are having fun.
thank you. Yes, we're
Mm,
living in the same compound here, so yes, those together.
mm,
Hello,
nice.
Paula. Thanks for
Hi.
this
Hello.
afternoon.
Escalita,
April.
Escalita,
Yes.
as we are talking right now, what part of, I can't see you, so I'm asking, what part of your body is being mindful right now? What what part of you is grounded maybe?
Mm, my thoughts is that could
Are
be
your feet, but okay,
moving.
let's,
Yeah.
how's your body?
Uh,
How's how are your feet positioned to the floor? My feet right now are super flat on the floor. So I pay attention to everything that you're telling me. You know, when you do all the computer work, Estelita,
yes.
you know, when you do your computer work at your desk, I know that for me, if I was to do computer work like you, I would feel my forearms. You know, when you're typing and your forearms are a little bit touching the table?
Yeah.
Yeah, that I definitely would be feeling that. Hey, there you are. I see you.
Yes. I this is usually my relaxed time when I'm working on my computers.
Yes.
I love what I'm doing with Motivate Community, with Adrian, with all other clients. So I'm enjoying whatever it is I'm doing every time I'm in front of my computer.
Nice, nice, nice. Nice. I received your document. You sent me the document before for the speaker form. You
Yes.
sent me the speaker form, yes, so I received it. I'm just confirming that I received it.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be
Yes.
sending it to you by the end of the today, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. I just love that picture behind you, huh? That the San Francisco bridge. Mm.
Welcome back. Thank you, everyone. And I'm wondering if anybody would like to just take 1 minute to share. What did you notice when you were practicing this 50-50 awareness? Perhaps when you got into your group, you even forgot that you were practicing 50-50 awareness, which is quite common. So yeah, let us know. What did you notice?
I'll say, Paul, that was actually very interesting for me. I felt familiar with being mindful, but I haven't actually done anything for a little while because I've been very busy physically. And I'm noticing that my perception of my body sensations is more acute since because I've been doing a lot of physical work, and I was able to work a little with Femina, and once I got in that same position as which I just did previously with you, I just went right down very quickly. But my mind was able to still go through that routine of what was feeling, and I was talking to Femina at the same time, trying to get her to relax. So it was it was quite an interesting feeling. It was really amazing.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you
I'd
for
be
sharing.
happy to hear what Femina experienced.
Yeah.
So for
Thank you.
me, I was really trying to focus because I know, okay, I have to listen to him and focus on my body, listen to him and focus on my body. And I was a bit nervous in the beginning, but Jay was really trying to make me calm down. So, and he was trying also to make me focus, on what we were doing. And I was sharing with him that I was very aware of all the sounds around me. And this time my mind was really focused on him, on his voice. But my feet, I was telling him like my toes, I just could not stop moving the toes. My hands were surprisingly still, right? And when he asked me if I could listen to my heartbeat, I had to pause, like I had to stop and just try to listen. And I could listen to it, but it was very like quiet. So yeah, so it was like it was something different.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you, Femina. And isn't this great? You know, a lot of the time, so many people say to me, I can't do it because they say that the mind is wandering too much. I can't relax. I can't get into. But you're noticing, and that's all we're asking is to start noticing, become aware of where the mind goes, of what the mind's doing, of how your body's feeling, and this awareness starts to become a normality for you and starts to become part of that mental makeup for you, that and then you're able to take this mindfulness into every day. Yeah. So,
Well, yeah, I
oh,
want to share something. When we just divide another two group, I talk with, sorry, I forgot the beautiful lady's name. So when we talking, I try to remind me aware what she said. But in daily life, sometimes, for example, my colleague, some people talk with me. Actually, I didn't focus on the person who is talking. I think about another thing. So after the talking, then my friend will ask me, did you listen to me? Actually, I didn't listen to her. So just for just the talking, I will aware to focus on what she said, and make sure I will answer her question. Yeah.
this is really wonderful noticing, Sunny, because so often when someone is speaking, we're just formulating a response and we're not actually listening to what they're saying. Someone might be speaking to us and we're already mapping out in our mind, okay, how do I respond to that? What am I going to say? And in a regular conversation, this might not be too dangerous. But when we're in a heated conversation with someone and when we're in a difficult conversation, we're not listening to the other person at all. And we're just thinking about, how am I going to respond? How am I going to win this argument? And that can be incredibly dangerous because neither party gets heard and neither party feels listened to. So just really listening and noticing what am I feeling when that person says these things? And can I respond with compassion and empathy and understanding? Yeah. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to share the screen for the very last time and possibly look at one more thing before we go. So if you look at this little cartoon, it's very funny that we're all wonderful there trying to practice mindfulness in our beautiful little spot. We've got our little shrines there. And then someone comes and asks us a question and we respond in, damn it, Gloria, here I am meditating and entertaining all this inner peace and joy. And you interrupt me just to find out what the hell I want for dinner. Isn't that so typical? That we think that we're enlightened, that we think that we're doing such a great job because we're sitting there in meditation. But isn't our interactions with other people all part of this meditation? Isn't interacting with other people and being mindful when others are talking to us and when we're talking to them? This is our main practice. So having a relationship with other people can be one of our biggest causes of stress. So part of that is that we're not being present, we're not listening, we're mind wandering, we're thinking of what we want to say next. So remembering this, that we can be present and try and bring presence into our conversations with others. And then we react. Because we are not present, we go into reactivity and we say things that we might regret later. And we might not say things. We choose not to say something because we're feeling so uncomfortable that the voice gets stuck in our throat. We clam up instead of being authentic and vulnerable. So reminding ourselves that in our relationships with others, this is our biggest practice of mindfulness, and taking that 50-50 awareness into those relationships can be really beneficial for ourselves and for the relationship, whoever it's with. So before I leave you this evening, I think I was supposed to hand the mic back over to Amy a little while ago, but I'm going to hijack for another few minutes, Amy, if that's okay. So before we leave this evening, I would like to ask you as well how you could take mindfulness into your everyday life. So a lot of people that when I talk to them, they say I don't have time to practice mindfulness. I don't have time to give myself 20 minutes or 30 minutes every day to just sit with and not do anything. So perhaps you'd like to think of a time when you're actually doing something that you can bring mindfulness into that moment. Perhaps like brushing your teeth. You could mindfully brush your teeth. And how many of you have, when was the last time perhaps that you actually tasted your toothpaste, or that you felt the bristles of your toothbrush on your gums without thinking, what am I going to have for breakfast? Oh, what should I say to that person today after what they said to me yesterday? And why did my husband say that to me last night? And all of those conversations that are going on in our head when we're brushing our teeth. So maybe instead recognizing that those conversations there, and maybe then just bringing the awareness to the sensations of the toothbrush in the mouth, and the sensation of the taste of the toothpaste on the tongue. And there's so many other things that you can bring mindfulness into. I'll maybe give a couple of examples, and then you could think of your own. So maybe putting the kettle on and making a cup of tea, and just standing there and waiting for the kettle, instead of putting the kettle on and then going to do your hair or your makeup, and then going to maybe send a message or check your Instagram. Maybe waiting for the elevator. How many times have you noticed when the elevator is on the 30th floor and you're on the 10th and you're constantly pressing, come on, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. It's not going to come any faster. Yeah. So could we just mindfully wait for the elevator? Maybe you're standing at Starbucks, and or what, I should maybe not say that name, but your favorite coffee shop. So you're standing in line at your favorite coffee shop, and the line is really long, and you're feeling, oh, I want to get out of here. I want to go to my yoga class, or I want to go to practice mindfulness. And oh, how wonderful could it be to just practice mindfulness as you're standing in line? My favorite is washing the dishes. I hated it. I hated it with a passion. And I would be, why is it my turn? Why do I have to practice the dishes? Don't I give enough to this family already? Wow, so much anger, so much hatred, instead of just feeling the bubbles on my hands and being grateful for having plates to eat on, having food to eat. Yeah. Karina, what would you like to share?
Now I was really gulping what you were saying. My question is, when I'm alone, I learn to be comfortable with my uncomfortableness, okay? But I find that I'm uncomfortable when I'm with other people that are more quiet, or in life that are more quiet, that are they require more thought process, where I'm like that. And I feel so uncomfortable that I feel like I need to fill the void. So how could I bring mindfulness to that?
Yeah. Feel the discomfort that's there when there's silence. Jackie knows me very well. She knows that this is one of my biggest problems, that I feel you. I'm so uncomfortable when there's silence. And I feel that I have to be pottering around, and I have to make sure that everyone is okay, and is everybody doing well. And exactly those words, I fill the void. And Jackie came on a retreat with me last year, and I shared this afterwards, that we had a day of silence, and I was the retreat leader, and I was probably the most uncomfortable with the silence, but I kept feeling back into it, this discomfort, this knot in my stomach, this urge to speak, this urge to clap my hands and say, oh, it was all a joke, let's all talk now, let's have fun. And just coming back to, okay, feeling this pressure here, this and just being kind to it. And I know where it comes from with me, but maybe just feeling into it, and maybe trying to be kind to that discomfort, that
Okay.
that you're gonna have in your body every time there's silence. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for sharing that,
Thank
Karina.
you.
Yeah.
Paula, how can we join your 7 a.m. sessions? Could you please put it in the chat? Juliet would love to join the sessions in the morning as well.
Yeah. How do I do that, Jenny? I'm not very good at the social media stuff. So I go live, I live stream. At the moment I'm live streaming on WeChat channels. So if you're WeChat friends with me, I guess that you'll get that notification. Yeah. So I think that Amy Alice, could you help me out with that? I'm really awful at that part of it.
Yeah. I was gonna say we could I could share your
Could I have your
WeChat
WeChat, the Paula?
You
contact.
can share her Thrive community. Paula, is that okay?
Yeah, but
Can you
I don't think you can share it because there's too many people in it. So I don't know whether you can, I don't think I can share a QR code to it anymore. So if anybody wants to come into the community, they'd have to be added by you or someone who's already in the community or by me. Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm going to share my WeChat, and maybe people can add that
Would
instead.
it be the Insight one or your personal WeChat?
My personal one. I go live using my personal one because it's too early in the morning for me to change WeChat accounts. Okay, thank you. Okay, Amy, I've gone way over time. I've really enjoyed this evening, and thank you so much for inviting me. I always enjoy sharing, and you've been a wonderfully mindful community. And I really hope that I see you all again sometime. And if you would like to practice at any time, you know where to go. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello,
Well,
I already added your WeChat. Please
one.
accept it. Thank you.
Okay. I will after I log off, I'll accept. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Paula.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Adrian, for
You.
creating this incredible community.
Wonderful speech.
Yeah. At the beginning of this session, I had in my notes that I wanted to say at how wonderful this community is. I see so much going out there, and how this well-being, this wellness, this all of this greatness is being shared, and it's really incredible. Thank you so much, Adrian, and everyone else who works in this community. Yeah.
Thank you.
Boom! You made it here! Good on you. Make sure you click the subscribe button below and check out the playlist at the end. If you'd like to come along to our Sunday sessions where we host a live free Q&A for our students and members, you're welcome. I'll see you there.